Hey everybody, Jay Evans here. Just wanted to share something with you that kind of touched my life on Sunday. We're teaching through a series in Sunday school in the LP's class called Living Wisely in a Foolish World. The lesson on Sunday was called Leaving Laziness. And often we think of laziness just as having no desire to do anything. And laziness is a sin that I've been thinking about a lot lately. So I'm only going to take a couple minutes, but I really want to encourage you to think about this, and hopefully that this study will do the same for you in the fact that it opened my eyes to my own laziness and pushed me closer to Jesus Christ. Talking about leaving laziness, I'm going to read a little bit from the lesson, so if you see me looking down. The word for lazy in the King James Version is slothful or slothfulness. A sloth is a slow-moving, tree-dwelling mammal that hangs with back down from branches and feeds on fruit and vegetation. The sloth is so lazy it hangs by its claws for a day at a time. It does nothing but eat and sleep, so it is considered the laziest of all creatures. The Bible also calls a lazy person a sluggard. And we all know a lazy person or a sluggard. You may be surprised at who is truly lazy because slothfulness or laziness is selective. We can all be lazy in certain areas of our lives, usually the most important areas. We can be workaholics and still be lazy. In this lesson, we are going to look at the cost of laziness and the cure for laziness. Laziness spoils relationships. Laziness is most often seen in our neglect of other people. One of the best examples of the cost of laziness occurs just hours before Jesus was crucified. After the Last Supper, Jesus takes his disciples to the Garden of Gethsemane. I've been there. It is a beautiful garden, is what the author shares in this. A great place to meditate and pray. That's why Jesus went there. He leaves most of the disciples at the gate and tells them, "Sit ye here while I go and pray yonder." And then he takes Peter, James, and John with him deeper into the garden. These men were his inner circle, his closest disciples. Jesus tells them, "My soul is exceedingly sorrowful. My soul is exceedingly sorrowful, even unto death." And then he tells them, "My soul is swallowed up in sorrow. I'm deeply grieved. I'm overwhelmed by sorrow to the point of death." More than any other time in his life, Jesus needs the support, the love, and the prayers of his three closest friends. Of all the people on earth, surely he can count on Peter, James, and John. But what happens is when Jesus returns, he finds all three asleep, and then he asks Peter, "You couldn't stay awake with me 1 hour." Can you hear the hurt and disappointment in Jesus' question? Just when he needs them most, they are too tired and lazy to watch 1 hour. Let's apply this to our lives. Have you ever come home really tired after a hard day's work or a tough time at your job? Your spouse and kids are waiting for you to express your love for them. You have the opportunity to give your kids a hug and listen to what they have been anxiously waiting to tell you about their day, which to them is just as important as your day is to you. You also have an opportunity to express your love and appreciation to your spouse in front of your kids, but you're just too tired. After supper, you collapse in your favorite chair with a newspaper or turn on the TV for the rest of the evening. You miss the opportunity to play with your kids, maybe help them with their homework, and pray with them before they go to bed. Those opportunities to express your love are gone for all eternity. You didn't miss those opportunities because you were a mean person or because you don't care about your family, but because you are too lazy to do the important things when you were tired. This is the story of most workaholics. They get everything done at work, even when they are tired, but when they get home to their spouses and kids, they are too tired and lazy to take part in the really important things in life. Most of the important things in life are done by people when they are tired, but who refuse to be lazy. Proverbs 15:19 says, "The slacker's way is like a thorny hedge, but the path of the upright is a highway." This means lazy people always have excuses or thorns that prevent them from doing what they should, but the righteous get things done. Most marriage problems are the result of laziness because marriage is mostly just plain hard work, and one or both marriage partners are too lazy to make the necessary effort. Laziness is also often the culprit in parental problems because parents are often too lazy to listen, help with homework, or get involved in their children's lives. In family relationships, we need to remember this, found in Proverbs: "The slacker does not plow during planting season." And at harvest time, he looks, and there is nothing. If we don't plow when we have opportunity, the day will come when we will look at our relationships and find nothing. Many parents say, well, when things slow down at work, I will have more times for my kids. Parents, let me tell you from experience, the time never comes. In all our relationships, we need to remember this principle found in Proverbs 12. A lazy man doesn't roast his game, but to a diligent man, his wealth is precious. Lazy people don't take care of their possessions because they don't value what they have. But a diligent man values and takes care of his possessions. But a diligent man pursues values and takes care of his possessions. The most important things in our lives are our relationships, but laziness spoils them. This is true not only in our human relationships, but our relationship with the Lord as well. Most Christians don't have the close relationship with the Lord they should have because they are just too lazy to be faithful in Bible study, worship services, reading their Bible, praying. Laziness ruins relationships. Laziness stifles good intentions. Jesus said this in Matthew 26, "Stay awake and pray so you won't enter into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." Because the flesh is weak, our good intentions are often nullified. Have you ever wanted to lose weight? Did you lose weight with just good intentions? If we want to get in better physical or spiritual shape, enrich our marriages, or improve our relationships with our kids, we need more than good intentions. Nothing will improve until we put the effort and make the necessary changes. And Proverbs 13:4 reminds us of this. The slacker craves, yet has nothing, but the diligent is fully satisfied. This means the desires of a lazy person are not fulfilled because he or she is not willing to put the necessary effort. We are a nation of couch potatoes. We are a generation of people who want everything to be easy, but the most important things in life don't come easily. They take a lot of hard work. What is the cost of laziness? It spoils relationships and stifles good intentions. Now we look at the cure for laziness. Spotlight areas of laziness. Your laziness may be found in your family relationships, your relationship with God, your money management. Could be anything. Spotlighting areas of laziness may require praying what kind of prayer Job prayed in Job 6. He said this, "Teach me, and I will be silent. Help me understand what I did wrong." And then we seek God's forgiveness. Honestly confess laziness as the sin it is. Ask God to forgive you all the opportunities you have squandered. You must confess the sin of laziness because of this truth found in Proverbs 28, which says, "The one who conceals his sins will not prosper, but whoever confesses and renounces them will find mercy." Select only one area. Choose just one area in your life in which you are lazy because you can only adequately work on one area at a time. Work on that area every day for 20 days. That's how long it takes to make a permanent change. Start doing better today. Not next month, not next week, not tomorrow. Procrastination will only allow time for things to get worse. Here's one of my favorite quotes. One of these days really means none of these days. We are always going to make changes tomorrow, but Proverbs 27 says, "Don't boast about tomorrow, for you don't know what a day will bring." Don't wait for a better time. We often try to cover up our laziness by saying we are waiting for a better opportunity. The person who really wants to change finds a way. But the person who doesn't really want to change always finds an excuse. Proverbs 22 says this, "The slacker says there's a lion outside. I'll be killed in the public square." This means a lazy person is full of excuses. We are all good at making excuses. Benjamin Franklin said, "People who are good at making excuses are rarely good at anything else." About what have you been making excuses? A good way to find out is fill in the following blank. One of these days, I'm gonna. However, Ecclesiastes says this, "One who watches the wind will not sow, and the one who looks at the clouds will not reap." In other words, if you wait for perfect conditions, you'll never get anything done. What will it take for you to make that important change you've been putting off? All the good intentions in the world will not make any difference. The cure for laziness is spotlight any areas of laziness, seek God's forgiveness, select only one area, and start doing better today.